unfortunately, but I'm sure it's going to be a great speech. In his speech today, he'll outline some of his findings in his research on water usage and what we all can do to keep this valuable resource at our fingertips. So please give a warm welcome to Darron.
James, it was going to be on beer, but the security guard saw it. Mix on that. So that was. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmates. Jim, thanks for the introduction. Elise, we're glad to have you. Just take a second. That water we take for granted. I know I do, oftentimes. You don't realize just how valuable a resource water is. We have it at our fingertips. We can take showers. We can do our laundry. We can have clean dishes. We can go swimming in a swimming pool anytime we want because of water. And it is a resource, and one that we have to treat as a resource. Like any resource, it can go away if we don't preserve it. Give you a little history lesson of how much water we actually use. 350 gallons we use every day. 350 gallons. Taking showers, washing our car, filling our swimming pools, 350 gallons. It's a lot of water. 410 billion gallons a day across the United States. Hard to put in perspective of how much water we actually do use. But the kicker is 95% of it, of what we use, goes down the drain. Taking a shower, doing our laundry, goes down the drain. Then we have instances like this. In other third world countries of people hovering around, and if you look, it's kind of hard to see, but you have jugs right there. They're filling for their daily use. 5, 10 gallons they might have of everyday use. And we use 350 gallons. I think if we don't use some prevention tips, the water resource is going to slowly go away. And if you keep tabs on the Great Lakes, Michigan is kind of unique. We have water all around us. And I think sometimes, because we do have it all around us, we kind of assume it'll always be there. But if you've read any articles, the water levels of the Great Lakes, it was going down and going down. Slowly it's starting to turn around or stay constant, but it's still a resource. And you think of how many acres and acres and gallons of water in the Great Lakes, and you're losing an inch and an inch. It's a lot of gallons of water. Prevention tips. That dripping faucet that we've had for years in our kitchen. 20 gallons is going down the drain every day. 20 gallons of dripping going down the drain, and that's more water than some third world countries get every day. Fix that dripping faucet. That 10-minute shower that we enjoy every morning, sometimes it's longer than 10 minutes, 38 gallons that we use. Now that's if you have an older shower head fixture. And most of you probably have hot water heaters in your home. Most of them are probably 40 or 50 gallon hot water tanks. They're round and stand about that tall. Your 10-minute shower virtually is empty in that. Using an old fixture. If you get that new shower head, they're more efficient now. You're using 23 gallons. So you're going from 38 to 23. You're saving that 15 gallons every day. A quick test, you'd think, well, I don't know if I have an efficient shower head or not. A quick test is you put a 1-gallon bucket in your shower, turn it on, and if it fills that in 20 seconds, you need a new one. You don't have, I say you need a new one, it's just not as efficient. Simple prevention tips. Those pearly whites that we like to have, brushing our teeth. You turn the faucet off every time you brush your teeth, you're saving 4 gallons. Pretty simple. Fix that dripping faucet to 20 gallons, saving the 15 gallons right here, that's 35. You're up to 39 gallons you're saving every day. With some pretty simple tips. What I did learn in my research, one of the things is water is a big topic. So I know there's more prevention tips. I have some things that we can do proactively as well. We all like, this time of year especially, spring comes around, you think green grass, flowers, gardens. And all those things take water. What I learned in the lawn care, if you want that green grass, and if you don't want to water it all the time, you keep your mower deck set higher. Don't scalp your lawn. Don't try to be Tiger Greens and have your own putting green. Don't touch it like that. Keep it longer. That grass blade is going to shade, this is the ground, that's going to shade the ground. It's going to make the grass greener for a longer time. You don't have to irrigate that lawn. Another step, aerate clay soils. And this was a foreign concept to me, but in our area, we have a lot of clay soil. And so that soil is so tight, and so when the rain does come down, some of it will soak in, but it's really slow in soaking it in, and the rest of the water runs off to the wayside. A couple of years ago, I went to my favorite store, Lowe's, and bought one of these aerators. It's a little pull-behind device, and what the aerator does, if you've never used one or seen one, these tines, there's 4 of them, and there's 6 of them across the whole unit. It's constantly spinning, and it's pulling these plugs out. It's like a knife. It cuts into the grass, pulls out a plug about that long, pulls it out. So you're creating holes about that wide or about that deep in your entire lawn. And you think, that's going to look like? That's going to look terrible. My neighbors are going to disown me. You're not going to see the holes. You'll see the plugs that are on top of the grass. Next time you mow your lawn, they're gone. They disintegrate. What that does is creates the hole where more water, more air, and more fertilizer can get down into your roots of your lawn. Less water. Not having to irrigate your lawn. Being proactive, make rainwater your friend. A lot of rainwater soaks into the ground, a lot of it gets through our gutter systems into our ditches, never to be seen again. 2 years ago, I put together this. Pretty not fancy, but it works. 55-gallon barrels, and I have you can't see it, but there's a downspout coming in, and they're spilling these barrels off of my barn roof. Last summer, I filled and emptied these 7 times. 700 gallons of water that I used without pulling a drop of water out of the ground. Cheap solutions. Irrigate only when necessary, and I'll go through these fairly quickly. If you wanted to irrigate 1 acre by 1 inch of water, so imagine 1 acre lawn covering it with 1 inch of water. Any guesses how many gallons? 27,000. And we're saying we're only using 350 gallons of it on average. I'll quickly go through some lessons learned. It doesn't take a whole lot to reduce your water usage by 10%. Keep in mind, 350 gallons we're using every day, so that means, can I reduce it by 35 gallons? I think we can. You need to be conscious, but use common sense. You might say, I can save 2 gallons of water, but I'm using an hour of electricity. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Some of these tips are very good. The United States uses less water now compared to 35 years ago, and we have more people. So we're becoming more efficient. And with all of that, those tips that you learned, you can have a drink on. Back to you.